Colin, what do you think?
So I love Rarity Collection. I think anyone loves Rarity Collection. Like I was at my locals when it released, and everyone would open a box, and I would go like, "Oh, you got that? I want to buy it from you. This is a crazy cool card." And someone else opens a box. It's like, "Oh, Max Rarity Time Thief Redoer. I want the Max Rarity Time Thief Redoer." Someone else opens, an effect veiler in the not Starlight, like Quarter Century Rare, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm using common veilers right now. I might as well spend like $30 back then for this veiler." And so like anyone could find what they want at whatever price they want. If you wanted to bling out your deck, you could walk out your store having spent $2,000 on just a max bling. And if you want to just get started, you could walk out the door with every staple you need for maybe $30. And so I love that. Right now, also, I have a lot of people who ask me how to get into the game, which is, I make Master Duel content, which is relatively casual, and then tournament content, paper. So just the jump from Master Duel to paper is something I'm asked about often. And so just being able to go like, all right, so you need these and these and these staples, and you can literally get them for pennies right now. That is awesome. What's also really good right now, I find, is that there's solid mid-range decks in which you can put these staples, So if you have your Ashes, your Imperms, your Veilers, your Tactics is cheap now as well, your Lightning Storms and Cosmics for your side, all of these like staple-ish cards, you can buy them really cheap. And then you can go, oh, Sword Soul is like tier 2 or whatever. Here's a couple pennies for Sword Soul cards. You got a deck. You want to try Marincess instead? All right, you can put those staples in there again. Like you can actually get started playing for very cheap. Now, the issue is that once you go, oh, Marincess, while I can go to locals and if I actually learn matchups and use my non-engine, well, I can probably win here or there. If I go to a regional and I sit in front of like Rescue Ace, maxed out, there's nothing I can really reliably do. You'll win here and there because you impermed Diabellstar and they had no follow-up and it was over. But very often you will just, get stomped. And then being told, oh, you need to spend $1,000 actually because there's Wanted and Diabellstar and there's Bonfire and Populous and Promethean Princess and otherwise you're not playing. That is like frustrating. So it's great to get started and go to that like casual/local level. But then once you try to jump higher, I think the jump right now is very aggressive.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, I think it's so hilarious how so many of our conversations in this podcast have ended with "But Wanted and stuff is really expensive." like that's like the tagline of everything at the moment. Yeah,
but
no,
it's that.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, I think hot take that everyone's talking like, oh, Wanted will get banned, blah, blah. It's like, nah. What's actually going to get banned is the spell card that summons any fire level 1 from the deck.
Yeah.
Because first of all, that is so generic. Like, as long as they print level 1 fires, this card is going to be bullshit.
Yep.
Sorry for swearing. I don't know if it's allowed.
So good.
But whereas Wanted just searches that, and so they could very easily have Wanted search Diabellstar, and Diabellstar set some trap as just a generic Omni negate. It's not a real Omni negate. Engine like that.
Yeah. Almost like an invoked engine kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Whereas it's really the fact that you have this spell that just summons anything that breaks that engine. And also, this means they don't have to ban a secret rare, which is something they would much rather not do. Whereas it's an ultra for the very bannable card, in my opinion. It would also make Populous, if it's a secret, not something they need to ban. It would be Bonfire that doesn't need to be hit because Bonfire has to sell Maze. And so it's just that ultra, I think, is the thing that's going to get the nuke eventually.